Bill Cosby. Um, they tried to take an elder away from us, an elder that had no proof that he did anything, an elder that may have done some stuff. I don't know. I don't want to speak on the case because I don't want to get into it, but I do want to get into what the Supreme Court did. The Supreme Court overturned it. Allegedly, the judge in this case, after a mistrial, the judge in this case and the DA is somehow friends. Allegedly, the DA had enough time to fine Mr. Bill Cosby $2,010 for not cutting his grass. A DA. So yeah, people have been trying to put their money up. I wonder if Bill Cosby wouldn't have had this case. I wonder if he would have been able to buy NBC or whatever company he was trying to buy allegedly. I wonder if he would have been able to afford to purchase this company, because Bill Cosby said the number one thing that they have that controls our society is the media and the networks. And he who controls minds control images. Is that correct? And they own all of the media. They sway all of the narratives, and they put a black talking head to say all of the shit. They put no masculine males on TV. And when masculine males go to jobs, they're fired. They'll tell you what it's like. These contractors that's trying to bid for jobs, they'll tell you what it's like. There's a certain place that they want you in America, and it's not playing in the $1 million game, in the $1 billion game that they playing in. And unless you playing, seem like being a boy and having a white man you can call that's over you, seems like Dr. Boyce was right. You can't get to a certain level. If I'm wrong, sir, there's a lot of black millionaires and close to billionaires. So why don't we have enough 500 Fortune companies that's rivaling the white man? Why don't we have a distribution company, a black owned one? Why don't we have a black owned hair shop? Why don't we have a black network of black owned banks? Why don't we have a network of black owned schools? Because they know better. There's a system in place that you cannot do certain things. Otherwise, I can show you 20 people on a list that they have the money to do everything I just said. And you ask these people, why haven't they done it? Because this is what happens. They put these young men or old men now, and they attack them with groups. Women is a group that you can't speak against. They said believe all women. But in certain situations, for certain people, they don't believe all women. So they are using these groups to attack these black males. There was no real reason, based on what the Supreme Court found, for Mr. Cosby to be in jail, and he needed to be released immediately. And when anytime that happens in America, normally people say, well, trust the system. That's what we say. We say, trust the system. America has a system for a reason. And that system failed us in the beginning. And that system worked in the end. So a man that should not have been in jail, Supreme Court let him out. But to me, my opinion is they still got to accomplish their goal, which was so that Mr. Cosby could not buy the network. Was I in the room? No, I'm going off what the Supreme Court just said. I do understand that there's an attack on all black males. Let's speak about Brother R. Kelly. Brother R. Kelly is one of the greatest performers in the history of performing. Do I know what R. Kelly did? Absolutely not. Am I speaking about his case? Absolutely not. What I'm speaking about is R. Kelly was a man who could not read and write. R. Kelly is a man who wrote, he produced, he sung, Trapped in the Closet. R. Kelly is a man that gave us hit after hit for 20 years, could not read or write. So R. Kelly has been trying to get a hold of his masters, and he's been fighting for his masters in court. And right before, allegedly, he gets a chance to defend himself to get his masters in court, now he's in jail. Now, I don't know what Brother R. Kelly did, but I know how much R. Kelly is worth dead. for all that material for 20 years, written and produced, to be owned by a record company, I guarantee you they won't stop you from selling R. Kelly and telling you how good it is to buy if R. Kelly was to die in jail. I guarantee you, if R. Kelly passed away with his masters and things still out, they will still sell it. So you got to ask yourself, black people, what are we watching here? So all of your great black males are just somehow rapists and just deviants. While Ben Roethlisberger can stand up erect. You tell us we need to buy and spend our money. And then when the very same men, Jay Prince don't have a charge of that nature. He has a respectful jacket on through and through. And they've been attacking this man his entire life based on his information that he's put out. Said he had the money to put up and was pooling his money together with other black brothers. And they sent the FBI allegedly at him. And the DA, a crooked DA. So how can black men do what you say, Mr. Jackson? When we do try to put the money up, they send in the FBI and they're doing everything in their power to bring up cases and bring up charges with what the Supreme Court said was not enough information. But the man could still spend 3 years in jail and he could not use the money he earned to buy what he deserved to buy. See, the thing is, we got to start thinking black. We shouldn't be listening to nothing the white media is telling us. When the fuck did white media give a fuck about black people? Did they change the 13th Amendment? What is that amendment that still make us a slave? Did they change the amendment? Did they change anything besides putting up a statue? What have they proven that they loved you so much? Did they give you reparations? Or are they giving your own tax dollars back in the form of stimulus checks and that's why you happy? What is the white man giving you that you so proud to take it from them, the information and the things that they're giving you when they used to shoot you and burn a white man for teaching you how to read? What did they give you that now you love them and trust them so much? Did they give you a 501(c)(3)? Is that what they gave you? Did they give you a government job? Did they give you a position higher than the other niggas so you can tell them, nigga, I'm above you? Did they give you a record deal? Did they give you a figurehead position and call you an owner when they really own the company? They are attacking masculinity on every front, and they're attacking masculinity by hiding in groups. Anybody who speaks out about anything we see wrong is somehow they use a word to attack us. Fuck the word. Let's go to law. Law states indecent exposure is for all American citizens, but law does not prosecute during gay pride when they disrespect the noise ordinance or take their clothes off in the middle of the street. I want a heterosexual pride. I want to take a female out and get in the middle of the road and get bucket naked and lay on the arrows and we can kiss and hunch naked. If that's what the standard of happiness and that's what the standard of being proud about something is, then that's a ridiculous standard. Because it can be educational if you put your damn clothes on. I can bring my daughter and say, hey, these people are proud that they finally have rights just like everybody else. That's what they said they wanted. They didn't say they wanted to be able to break the law and nobody can't talk about it. They didn't say they wanted to be a gang now in a group that posse up on anybody who speaks against in a respectful way or whatever else, just anybody who talk. They didn't say they wanted that. They said they wanted equality and all inclusive. So yes, honey, these men and these women and whatever they identify with, you have to ask them individually, non-binary. I don't remember all of them, sweetie, but here's a way you can walk up and you can talk to them, sweetie. But if my daughter go now and go to talk to a man or somebody, whatever they identify with, their penis might bump her in the damn chest. Why she want to ask them a damn question? Is that appropriate? How the fuck can she learn if you got your Johnson out? That is illegal, right? No, it's not. I watch behavior. When I see that you can identify and hide in certain groups and the behavior can change. And that is a bad thing that we're doing. This is an attack on masculinity. But no, still don't believe me, O'Shea? Okay, let's see what happens when a male sexual harass people in the office like Charlamagne did. Because there's no punishment for Charlamagne. He's been throwing bunkies at men. And if that was a woman, well, never know in the Breakfast Club he could sniff seats. So I don't know if he throw a bunkie at a woman with nuts on it, would they prosecute him for that as sexual harassment? Or if he throw a dildo at a woman, I'm pretty sure he might be above that too. But it's interesting once we start digging into BET and finding out what's going on and why things are happening, it realized that they're taking heterosexual men out of the equation, and that's not all inclusive, and that's not right, and that's not fair. Masculine men deserve to have jobs in every company. It's not toxic to say you're wrong about something. And my opinion is you're wrong. Now, you cannot fight an opinion. I didn't say fact is you're wrong. I said my opinion. So don't you squeamish bitches go to, he said something against us. No, my opinion. My opinion said you need to have a conversation now. You can't hide behind your little push words that stop off every goddamn conversation, because we want to know why heterosexuals never have a day that we can walk in the street butt ass naked without going to jail, and you do. We want to know why black men, every time they try to move up a ladder that most black men will never get to, like head coach, GM, owner. There's only one. How many black owners in the NBA? Is it one, Michael Jordan? Is it one or is it two? Michael Jordan, somebody who never speak out politically, somebody who just quiet as a church mouse. Is it just one? They make sure you have to get down and lay down, don't they? And let's see how they're attacking masculinity in these offices. Let's see if they're protecting men. Don't allow anybody to silence your voice by words like toxic and racism and all of this. Make them have a conversation with you. They should ask you, why are you saying the things that you're saying? And you should be able to explain why. It shouldn't be an attack word to stop you from being able to speak. It's all bullshit designed to control you. You cut off conversation, that's the worst thing that you can do. We can all agree to disagree. But if half the room is scared to talk, then the other half of the room is dominating the show. And we should no longer be afraid to talk. It's our opinion. It's we think. Hell, we might have snapped, but we still have a right to talk. So let's talk. Let's ask these questions. Why can't we have some of the same behaviors as the people who want respect? Let's ask. Because I think it's been a lot of black brothers who tried to branch out on their own. They've shown us throughout history when we try to branch out on our own that somehow that disrupts an economy. Imagine if these great black so-called leaders, or all of us black people with money, stick together and keep our money circulating in our community. They allow Asians to do it. They allow Chinatown to do it. They allow every other culture but us, because we control and drive the market. We create dances. We create songs. We play sports. There's not many fields that we don't drive what other people do. So they don't want us to come up with our own, a way to make our own shirts, our own hats, our own whatever. Imagine if you can make this hat and have a distribution deal and have Jay Prince and all of those guys that was trying to put it together to distribute our merch and our music. Imagine how many white guys that make money off of our culture that would be out of job. Imagine how many generations of people that would not be able to do the things that they're doing. So they need us. They need us not to wake up. That's why they attack any man or a woman who try to be independent. They want to stop individuals. They want to create one-track minded thinkers. And that's all emotional people that want to be virtue signaled to because they don't want to do anything. They want to talk about a problem, identify it, and yell about it, and cry about it, and shout about it. But you have to do the work to fix it. You have to do the work to fix any problem. It's time for us to do the work. There should be nobody tithing to any more churches. They hadn't proved themselves. The outcomes is that there's a church on every corner in the Black community, and they hadn't proven that they've helped the Black community. They've given us a set of hope and ideals of a God coming back to help. Now it's time, ladies, because there's not a lot of men left going to church. But ladies, now it's time to take that money and not give it to pastor. It's time to invest in your sons and your daughters and your community. You have the money. We spend the most money. We have the money to build anything we want as long as we keep it focused on our community. Should be no more shouting and screaming and crying. There should be people paying attention to their communities. It should be people going down to get in positions to change the laws. There should be people joining the police force. There should be people becoming attorneys. There should be people becoming judges, Black people, not becoming rappers, not becoming ball players.